Hello, so this is actually a remake. I already attempted to make this video before, but I took it off YouTube because I wasn't happy with it and I didn't advertise it anyway, so luckily only a handful of people saw it. But yeah, I wanted to give it another bash because it was something that I was quite passionate about and I wanted to make it better, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So yes, here's my take too, and the reason I'm making this video in general is because I absolutely love books, and over the past maybe 6 months to a year I've become intensely obsessed with them, and I wanted to do something that combined my love for books and my filmmaking. So I've seen lots of vlogs on books and stuff, so I thought I'd give a bash putting them together and seeing how this went, and hopefully it isn't a huge catastrophe or car crash, and we'll see how it goes. So the books that I wanted to talk to you today and hopefully inspire you to read are The Joy of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Lani Taylor. This series is probably the first set of books or single books or any type of books this year that I have really loved, and like these books were so good. The reason that I love these books so much is just the intricately carved and perfection of the storyline. It's so intricately detailed and so many subplots going on, and the development of the characters throughout this massive storyline is woven in perfectly. And for me, the main character, for being a 17-year-old to 18-year-old girl in it, she was just fantastic. The series starts off with this girl named Carew who lives in Prague, and she visits her adoptive family, if you will, who live in a different world, and she visits them through these portals that there are between Earth and the other world that they live in. The other world that her adoptive family live in is called Eretz, and Eretz is shared by two different sets of people called Seraphim, who are angels, and Chimeria. There's a war going on between these two different sets of people, and that would be because the Seraphim have used to enslave and overpower the Chimeria, and they were used as slaves and they were oppressed basically. So when the story kind of starts off, it's Carew kind of slowly learning of this war. The first book is, it feels like a lot happens, and it doesn't in the first book. The first book kind of is more introducing you into her life and a lot of the characters, because the second two books are a lot bigger, and you kind of slowly get brought into this war in the first one, and you see Carew learn about this war and have to deal with certain things and her part in it. And you meet Akiva, who is one of the other main characters, who is an angel, and they kind of team up to try and bring peace to Eretz. Secondary characters who got a lot of airtime's the wrong word because obviously it's a book, but they got a lot of time. You got to see them a lot, which was nice because sometimes you don't get to see the secondary characters as much, and that was kind of lovely because you adored the secondary characters just as much as the main characters, and it kind of almost, their storylines weren't as serious and as intense in a different way, so they were kind of almost a relief from the main storyline that was happening, and they were such brilliant characters. My favourites would be Suzanne and Mick, who are hilarious, and they give such light and laughter to the book, and they're such lovable characters. Description was also another huge thing that I loved about this book, because she had such detail in her writing. Such small things seemed insignificant but were important, and the way things were slowly brought in, and I don't know how to keep talking about this book. It's such a lovely series, and it's technically young adult, but I enjoyed it, and I'm not a young adult anymore. Or am I? I don't know what age group that's for. It's just like an action-packed romance, fantastical adventure that is just amazing, and it's just such a great read. So I would definitely recommend picking it up because I loved it so much. Thank you to my friend Liz who recommended it to me because it is now one of my favourite books, or my favourite trilogies. Something else I want to talk today about is my current TBR pile. For those of you not in the book slang, means to be read. So it's gotten a bit out of hand recently. I'm kind of jobless again and buying books makes me feel happy. So that's what I've been doing a lot of. So yeah, I thought I'd try it to see if you want any recommendations for books. I will try and pick them up. So the first book I have is Half Bad by Sally Green. I kind of don't know a huge lot about this, but I know over the summer, because it's August now and in Scotland, so it's not summertime anymore. In the summer it had a lot of hype. I don't like using that word because I think it comes with bad connotations and letdown, but yeah, it had a lot of hype about it. It's about witches and this boy who's imprisoned, and I don't know tons about it, but I heard a lot of good things. So if you're looking for kind of a witch themed book that I heard is awesome things about it. It's also a trilogy, so if you don't want to commit yourself to a trilogy, maybe not pick it up, but that is what I've heard good things. Second book is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. During a snowstorm in England, 1910, a baby is born and dies before she can take her first breath. And then the second line is during a snowstorm in England, 1910, the same baby is born and lives to tell a tale. So I think it's about like different choices and different paths. And it looks, from the cover, the snow, it looks kind of wintry. So I thought I'd wait till maybe Christmas time to read this. Dean Koontz, Innocence. I only read one other Dean Koontz before. It was given to me in a Christmas Secret Santa. And I really liked it, it was good, and this one sounds really good too. The next one my mum recently gave to me, it's about twins. One's brain damaged and one's not, and they want different things for their 14th birthday, but their foster parents can't cope and it looks like they're going to get split up, and last line's desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm going to read it because my mum gave it to me and she said it was good. Not something I'd usually pick up. This one is The Best Thing That Never Happened to Me by Laura Tate and Jimmy Rice. I have never read a book by dual authors before, so we'll see how this one goes. And it's about a man and a woman who I think used to date when they were younger, and then they bump into each other when they're older, and how stuff happens. Well, stuff usually happens in books. But yeah, so I feel like I think the woman's gonna write the woman's part and the guy's gonna write the guy's part. But we'll see. This one I picked in the supermarket the other day. I took advantage of Asda's 3 for 10 and 2 for 6 and got about 5 books. This one kind of sounded like a light-hearted kind of romance, or a Kate Ford, A French Affair, which was something I'm kind of looking into. The kind of contemporary romances are, not to insult them, but they're structured similarly and they're comfortable reads, and when I'm kind of feeling a bit blah, they make me feel good. So that's why I picked this up, because it seemed like a book I could rely on to make me feel a certain way. The thing is about this girl who's inherited this stall in this kind of French marketplace, but the owner's grumpy, and it's all about her kind of making him not be grumpy and them embarking on romance. Are you liking my descriptions? I think my descriptions are very nice and vague. This one I have been seeing for ages. I haven't heard anything about it. Lucy Diamond, One Night in Italy, and it's about these 3 different women, 3 different stages in their life, 3 different like age groups, and they all want to go to Italy for some reason, and I think it's all about how their life's intertwined. Like one's looking for their dad, and one's a teacher, and the other's husband has walked out on her, and so they all want to go to Italy for some reason, and I've been wanting to go to Italy for years. So I'm probably going to be intensely jealous when I get around to reading this. So, this is the next book. I don't know, you're probably going to have heard of it before. It is called Divergent Series by Veronica Roth. I've got it backwards. There we go. Yeah, oh god, these are quite big. I didn't realise how big these were. Yeah, the film came out in April, and I usually am not a person to read a book after I've seen the film. I don't know, I just can't do it that way. I usually have to do it the other way, and I've not watched films before, so I can read the book. But I didn't know, my friend kind of read them and she was like, oh, they're really good, and they were like £9 for the whole trilogy and the works, and I was like, why not? So I got them. It's about this girl in a dystopian world, and you have to fit into a faction, and there's 5 factions, but she's more than one faction, she's like 3 factions, and that's called Divergent, and Divergents can't be controlled, and so that's why they're bad, and it's all about them trying to bring down the bad system of the factions. Again, my descriptions are horrific. It's a really good trilogy. I've heard only awesome things about it. The film was really good, hence me reading these. This book is Dust by Hugh Howey. It is the 3rd book in the Wool trilogy. It's a dystopian about the human race now lives in silos underneath the ground because the air is toxic due to a nuclear war. Really good series. I'm currently reading the 2nd one, Shift, right now. Can't wait to read this one. So I'm reading the 2nd one. So those are my books right now. I've been collecting them since... I've not all got them at once. I think I've had them since maybe about June-ish. I'll pick them all up. Oh god, they're really heavy. So here is all the books. I'm super excited about all of these. I can't wait to read them all. I need to start reading faster. Yeah, I would recommend even having a wee look at some of them. Doing quite well out of this pile. I'm excited about all of these and wanted to see if anybody needed inspiration to pick up some books. So I will maybe see you next time if I make another video, and maybe I have read some of these that I could talk about. So bye!